17. Aurora. I need to go, Wyatt abruptly announces and races off to the bathroom. All the tingling in my body disappears, no longer kindled by the warmth of his body holding mine. Oh God, I must have overstepped a line resting my head against his chest. It's just that being in his arms felt so oddly calming, like being wrapped up in your favorite blanket. There was both desperation and softness in the way he held me, his clutch so demanding, but also gentle in the subtle stroke of his thumb over my waist. His midnight eyes were so wild when he marched over and offered to dance with me too, like if I didn't say yes, the whole bar would burn down. Yet, it felt so right to slip my hand into his, feel his rough skin rasp against mine. And then I was too rebellious and stole the chance to feel more of him by laying my head against his chest, drinking up the leather and pinewood scent that radiated off him, the scent that is so entrenched in my memories of Sunset Ranch now. But he immediately seized up, stopped dancing, and then left me like a jilted bride. Not that it matters, I was just letting my vulnerability get the best of me once again. Taking advantage of any attention Wyatt was giving me. I don't like Wyatt that way. He doesn't like me that way either. In fact, I'm still not 100% certain he likes me. Tolerate might be a better word. When Wyatt disappears, Sawyer and Cherry stop dancing and shrug at me, faces twisting like they're just as confused as to why he stormed off. Sawyer wraps his arms around Cherry's and my shoulders, guiding us back to the table, where Cherry finishes clearing off the empty glasses. I'm incredibly grateful that my full drink is still waiting for me, and I down it, receiving a cheer from Wolfman and Sawyer before asking Cherry to bring another. Anything to numb the annoying sting in my chest. Who has Wyatt been talking to all night? I shuffle closer to Sawyer and gesture my glass towards where Wyatt stands at the bar with the couple. Ever since he came out the bathroom, he's been chatting to them, hasn't even looked my way once. Not that I care, I've been happily conversing with Sawyer and Wolfman, but it's just weird. That my dear Red is Miss Holly Slade and her hotshot lawyer boyfriend. Sawyer laughs. Nah, Wolfman shakes his head. My sister told me they're engaged now. Sawyer blows out a breath. Shit, well don't tell Wyatt. I snap my head round. That's the infamous Holly Slade? I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting when he told me about her. But it definitely wasn't someone as devastatingly beautiful as this woman. She's got long, shiny blonde hair, and she's wearing a sweet-looking white linen dress that shows off all her feminine curves, while deep red paints her lips. Not ideal for Wyatt to know he lost that. Also not ideal for me that there's a quick pang of something that feels a lot like jealousy in my stomach. But I shake it off and turn back to Sawyer. It's probably just reminding me of the blonde girl I caught Jake with. He raises a brow at me. How do you know about Holly Slade? I sip my drink, unable to stop myself from taking side-eye glances at Holly and Wyatt, thinking about how good they would have looked together as a couple. She's all innocent country beauty, while he's all dark and mysterious. I also notice how she's covering her left hand, like she doesn't want Wyatt to see the ring. I immediately dislike her. Wyatt told me about Holly Slade the other week. Wait, what's her name again? Wolfman grins. So I roll my eyes and twisting closer to Sawyer, who is laughing in what seems like disbelief. Jesus, he never talks about Holly Slade, even to us. All we get is a grunt if we bring her up in conversation, taking another long sip of my drink to try to hide how much I'm glaring at the three of them. I study the guy who's got his arm around Holly's waist. He's also the complete opposite to Wyatt. He's got the pretty city boy look locked in, his whole image evidently curated. He's shorter and a little slimmer than Wyatt, with perfectly coiffed light brown hair, and is wearing a flashy tailored suit. He's what Wyatt could have been, I guess. It all makes sense now. Why Wyatt standing so closed off, arms crossed tightly, those goddamn mouth-watering biceps bulging. Seeing him look so defeated doesn't sit right with me, and with the vodka that's coursing through my veins, it riles me up more than I'd like. It must suck seeing her move on when he's still here? Even though I know he's happy, that here is what he wants. But I can tell he's still bothered by what she said about him, that he wasn't ambitious enough. Even though I think the fact that he's found what makes him truly happy is the most successful thing ever. Inspiring too. Yeah, well, Sawyer sits back and nurses his drink, flashing a raised brow look at Wolfman, who just shakes his head. It's not like he hasn't moved on himself, but he doesn't get to parade that in front of her like she does with her guy because of his weird rule. Wolfman scoffs. The fucking rule? What's the rule? I ask, attention darting between the two guys who are rolling their eyes animatedly. Sawyer's strained smile seems almost pitiful. He's always had this rule that he has to make sure any girl is aware of his intentions before anything happens between them, whether it's serious or not. He says it's because he has a little sister and wouldn't want anyone being dishonest with her. Jesus, that was not what I expected. I've seen the way girls gawk after him, like the women a few booths down from us earlier, so I kind of thought he'd take more advantage of that. Essentially, the idiot won't go home with a girl without telling her beforehand that he either wants to just fuck her or marry her, Wolfman chimes in, chuckling. As you can imagine, it doesn't always go down well, and means less girls to show off to Holly Slade. Sawyer tips his drink towards Wolfman's with a wink. More girls for us, though, so we don't discourage him, and they call Wyatt the idiot. I spin back around and lean on the table, circling my drink in my hand as I watch Wyatt and Holly again. No, I'm not having this. I down the rest of my drink, slamming the glass on the table and making the guys jump. I'm too far past the level of intoxication where I care what people think now. Unless, of course, it's Holly Slade. And there's some weird protectiveness that's rearing its head inside of me and wants to put an end to all this. Because Wyatt is my friend. It's what I'd do for any of my girlfriends at home. Well, I wonder if Holly has heard that Wyatt's bagged himself a hot British girlfriend. Sawyer's mouth hooks up on one side, I don't think she has. Maybe someone should go tell her. That is a great idea. Waltman holds his bottle up to me, grinning. Wish me luck, I say as I climb out the booth and head towards Wyatt. On the way, quickly adjust my dress, pulling the top down further so what little cleavage I have is more on show, and I ruffle up my wild waves. As I get closer, everything about Wyatt seems dimmed. There's no glisten in his dark eyes, no cheeky smirk that makes you melt, no rich warmth that reminds me of an evening bonfire radiating off him. For a heartbeat, I realize how deeply he's entrenched in my new memories of the ranch, in my new home, how Holly's presence here is threatening that. It makes it a whole lot easier to fling myself at him once I reach them, not giving him a chance to react. My hands wrap around his neck, tugging him down to me, lips barreling towards his. Our mouths meet in a crash, his crossed arms press against my chest, while he's frozen in understandable shock. I half expect him to push me away when I weave my fingers through his hair. But he doesn't. His arms uncross, hands accidentally brushing my breasts in a way that sends a shock of heat pulsing between my legs, and then they slide around my waist. Being wrapped up in him again sends sparks along my skin, and his lips give, kissing me back. He lifts me up closer to him, and my head tips back, mouth opening for his tongue. Stubble rasps against my cheeks, sending shivers down me. God, he tastes of whiskey, all smoke and vanilla, and it's enough to make me groan a little. Even more when he grabs my hips, pinning them against his where I swear he's hard. There's no gentleness now in how he's taking me, and it makes me feral. I'm shocked at how much love it, how much my body seems to be screaming finally at the sensation. Despite denying it, I always knew I found Wyatt attractive, but this is so much more. This doesn't just feel hot. This feels right. I think I can hear cheering in the background, but the noises around us seem to drown out, all my senses too focused on the electricity skittering through my body, deep down in my core. It's enough to let myself get lost in it, ... But I can't. This is Wyatt. This is just an act, even if it feels scarily like more. I rip away from him. Wyatt just stares at me, blinking hard, cheeks and neck all flushed. My eyes dip to his swollen red lips once, watching how his tongue darts out over them, and I'm hit with the reminder of how fucking good they felt, with thoughts of how good they'd feel all over the rest of my body. Nope. Can't go there. Jesus, I must be drunker than I realized. Quickly, I turn to where Holly and her are standing, gaping at us. and force out the partiest British accent possible. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just couldn't be away from him for another second. I slip my arm around Wyatt's waist and nuzzle into him. He's rigid as a rock. I'm Rory Jones, Wyatt's girlfriend. Wyatt makes a strangled noise. Because I feel like being an absolute bitch, I hold my hand out to the two of them but turned over, as if I'm expecting them to kiss the back of it. Their faces are still twisted as they behold me and Wyatt, and I don't miss how Holly's mouth turns down. My plan is working. The shakes my hand awkwardly but offers a soft smile still. Easton Brooks? Holly's face has completely soured, which makes me want to turn and give Sawyer and Wolfman a massive thumbs up, but she attempts to push a smile through it. Holly, I didn't realize you had a girlfriend, Wyatt. Before he can answer, I cut in, throwing out a fake laugh. Oh, that's probably my fault. He barely gets any time outside since we met. Always in the bedroom, deep in that honeymoon stage, you know. Wyatt stiffens even more when I reach up to caress his face. I'm sure you and Easton had it the same, right, Polly? Fuck, I'm so mean. And I love it. It's Holly? She presses her lips together, giving me a shot of adrenaline. Oh, my bad? I squeeze against Wyatt again, running a hand down his chest, allowing myself to savor the feel of his muscles. Now, I'm awfully sorry, but I need to steal Wyatt away because I turn into such a horny little cowgirl when I've had a few drinks, and I can't wait for my big boy any longer. Then I slap Wyatt on the ass and pull him away, leaving Easton choking on his drink and Holly scowling.